Right. Hey gang, it's Powerhouse Pam Waters of Soul Advantage Mobile Notary. Today on Maryland C.O.I.N's Notary Show is my special guest, Gary Pierre-Louis, and he's going to tell you all about his journey and give us some great tips. So Gary, take it away.
Thanks, Pam. Thank you for having me on the show. I got into the business, just getting commission just like everybody else. Wanting to have a 9-to-5 job currently, where I do a lot of processing work. I do maybe anywhere from 30 to 60 files a month, and I started just really getting into this business part-time, looking to earn some extra money. I heard about the notary business. It could be quite lucrative. It's a great way to learn new skills. And even with what I was doing with my 9-to-5 job, I had to be a notary working for a bank. So it's just something, but I wasn't really utilizing my notarial license. So I figured, why not do my 9-to-5 and also make money to the side? So it made sense. It really set forth for me when I was getting my house refinanced in 2017. 2017, I had a notary closer. They came to my house and they were notarizing documents for my wife and I. And I'm just and then she was in and out of there from, like, it took her 45 minutes and she was done. Very professional, did her job, and she was out on her way. And then I was looking at the fee on the paper. I think it was $150 for that assignment. And I said, wow, this. And I started, the light bulb went off. And I just started asking her some questions. How did you get started with this? She had her own business. How is it? Asked her a little bit about her journey. She shared a couple of nuggets with me and showed me how it worked. And then from there, the rest was history. I was doing my 9-to-5. I enjoyed it, but I did have that notary commission that I was underutilizing. I did it at the bank, but it was for free. But here was
right, definitely your pocket.
Right, but here was an opportunity where I could actually, put that to life and actually start a business out of it. So really from there, I just figured out my blueprint, what I wanted to do with it, how I wanted to put everything together for myself, and then from there, started doing it as a general notary work. Got very good with that. Got very skilled with that. Did a ton of business doing that. Became an expert in that field. From there, discovered the loan closing aspect of the business. Started doing that, and started saying, but remember, I'm still doing this with my full-time job. So it got what had me start the signing service business, to answer your question, was I didn't have enough time in my day to take on a business that I started cultivating for myself through some of these relationships I was building. So I said, it started with maybe 1 or 2 notaries, and I said, okay, look, when I get extra assignments, do you mind taking this on? They said, yeah, sure. Got those contracts in place. It was just one or two people I was doing it through. So there was really no sophisticated systems I was creating, just doing it organically that way. But then, now today, I've had the privilege of, working really hard and forming a signing service company. And I'm now in New Jersey. I'm now in New York. I have a team of 15 to 30 notaries in New York and New Jersey. And we're closing a ton of business and we're rocking out.
So in New Jersey, I thought their fee for general notary work was low as well.
Every state has their fee as far as what you can charge for the notary itself, right? Or the acknowledgement or the oath that you're actually doing. But certain states that allow you, and Jersey being one of them, allow you to charge a travel fee. So that's where I had to get very innovative and really think what would be what's that sweet spot? What's that price that I could charge where, the customer is getting a quality price, and also I'm making enough business for myself, So it was it was really trial and error with that. And what I had to, one of the barriers that I had to move from my mind was, is somebody really going to pay $40, $50, $60, $70 for a notarization? When they could go to the bank and get it for free, right?
They do here in Maryland, but yeah, I understand what you're saying.
But the thing is, there's a lot of people out there that need that business, because there's some people that are in groups. They don't want to go to the bank. There's a lot of people that just don't like going to the bank in general. There's also banks don't do all kind of notarization documents. Yeah, they don't do all kind of notarizations. It's late at night, and they can't wait until the morning. So there's a space for people looking to do mobile notary service and doing general work.
Right. But that wasn't your calling, right? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
No, that was. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that wasn't my. I loved it, because you know what it is, Pam. You go out there, just like we met today.
Right.
I mean, your 21-year-old son. I'm learning about you. I'm learning about your business. So, I always found that interesting. I grew up on entrepreneurship, but for me, my calling was I've always wanted to be in a consulting capacity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what kind of when I saw that notary closer do that assignment for me, what triggered for me is this would be a business that was not necessarily the dream from. That wasn't necessarily the business doesn't have to be the dream, but it could be the bridge that gets you to your dream, and that's the way I looked at it. Right. This would be the bridge that allows me to consult with notaries or consult with people and consult with different business owners and really just, find ways to really get their business, put some wheels on their business, really launch their dreams. I've always been that person. I mean, before I was 20 years old, my father had maybe 4 or 5 different businesses that he was running. And I was that kid running around just wanting to make my dad happy, saying, hey, Dad, what do you think about this idea, that idea? So I was really always in that space. So really to have the platform now where I get to help other notaries in my space launch their businesses and show them how I did it, where I failed, what tweaks I made to get better was kind of what I thought my calling was. So that's how that went.
So I know we talked about how I became a notary, and I just knew I was about to be a loan signing agent. We found out we had to get our typic license, but that's not the same case, right, in New Jersey?
No.
You just.
Yeah, I mean, when you say that's a typic, what's typic? I wasn't quite sure what that was because we don't have to get that done out here in New Jersey, and I know that's not the case in New York. I guess it depends on what state you're in, but no, the only thing you really have to do in New Jersey is really just get your be commissioned. If you really choose to take on loan closings, just get certified. You could take there's tons of different courses out there. You choose your pick. You do your research. But that's really it. I mean, you don't even in the state of New Jersey, you don't even have to take a written exam to get certified. Really, to even get your notary commission. There isn't that.
So
you just take that. You just take that oath in the county office. You get your notary certificate, and that you pay your registration fees. You're done.
Okay, so when your loan signing agency comes this way, just the Maryland has to take what we call a title insurance producers independent contractors course in order to be a loan signing agent. So, because I know you're gonna move your stuff towards this way, right? You're gonna get some connections. So just know that in Maryland, don't use them if they don't have what we call a typic. Okay.
I wrote that down. Now I know. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Because that's illegal, right, D'Angelo? It's illegal. Now, I was being nosy on your Instagram page, and I saw that you're a brand ambassador. So how do you connect that with the notary business or your loan signing business?
I'm a student. I'm always looking for ways to learn. How I draw that parallel was I'm always looking for how do I gain skills in different areas that are going to line me up to do what it is that I'm looking to do. And I seen online like Damon John from Shark Tank. He had an ambassador program. I said, oh wow, that's pretty cool. He was launching his book. It was called Power Shift. Right. Power, great, amazing book, by the way. And I said to myself, if I could become an ambassador for this program, this is going to really teach me skills that maybe I don't acquire now that will help me with my business. So that's why that's what got me into it. And then I applied for it, not really thinking I'd get it. I was hoping I was getting crossing my fingers, but then I got it. So then, I went through that program. It was great. Spoke to Damon John, spoke to a lot of the people on his team, saw how he worked his campaigns, saw how he was preparing for his campaigns, saw everything he did to launch this book. So, I mean, I wouldn't look at it as skills that was empty calories. These were just skills that I use with my own businesses and skills I use to really launch my signing service companies. So I'm always looking for ways to get different certification programs, learn different skills that will only help me be better at my own craft.
Well, give me like 2 or 3 great tips you learned through that program that we can use for notaries in our notary business.
So in his book, the title gives it away, Power Shift, right? And the main concept behind this book was, in every business that you get yourself into, right? The main thing that you want to ask yourself is why you're getting into that business, right? Right. And the reason for that is because every business is going to have its challenges. So my own business being no different, the business that you're looking to launch no different, So in the book, The Power Shift, what he really gets into is, you really got to dig down why and ask yourself why you're doing this every day, because your business is going to pose a lot of challenges. And how are you going to get through these challenges on your tough days when you don't feel like waking up in the morning, right? How are you going to push yourself through that? When you thought that when you were going to take this on, you may not have necessarily had the hiccup that you had last Monday. Even with myself, I wanted to start I'll give you an example. I wanted to start a signing service company, but I didn't realize just how in depth I had to be into the accounting aspect of it. I'm my own accountant.
Right.
I have to start my own teams. I'm my own HR. I'm managing the different personalities. The mistakes. How do you handle mistakes? So in this book, Power Shift, is really about your mind, and how are you setting yourself up? How are you setting yourself up every day so that you're setting yourself up to win? So that in that book, Power Shift, he goes into different chapters, which he talks about ways to win, ways to set up your mind and your mentality as so that you prepare yourself to yourself and your business in a way that you could succeed. So that's what I really got from that. So I run my business the same way, I'll tell you, I'll tell the notary on my team, like, look, Gary, I don't necessarily know this. I don't necessarily know what an affidavit is. I don't know what a power of attorney is. To me, that could all be taught. But what can't be taught is work ethic, being on time. How are you getting through your hard days? What is your routine? How are you preparing yourself? These are things that can't be taught. So I'm really a proponent to really, really, really mastering that part of the business.
Which most of us that are on here going through that right now, we have to shift our mind and see how bad do we want to be atypic, and study hard and make some small sacrifices for a long-term gain. It's just a mind switch, and when you're ready for it, you'll make it happen. Right, Tanya? Tanya said, don't call my name. But yeah, it's just a mind switch, and how bad do you want it and what you going to do to get to the finish line.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because you said like, what, $60 just to take the course?
No, the course is between $179 and I've seen it as high as almost $400 or $500. It's $60 just to take the test.
Right. That's a
just
lot.
To take the test. So if you're going to invest between $179 and $400, you have to really switch your mind that you got to make a small sacrifice so that you can cross the line, because there's a lot to learn.
Exactly. And if you don't pass the test on the first time, what are you going to do? You have to pay that fee again, right?
Yep.
That's enough to get a lot of people to say, you know what? Yeah. I thought I wanted to do this business, but I don't.
Yeah, it could be a real deterrent. It could be a real deterrent if you fail that first time. But D'Angela, I'm not meaning to put your business out there, but D'Angela did not pass the general, but she turned right around and took that test, and she passed it on the second time. So she had on her mindset, I'm going to be a tippet by the end of this month, right, D'Angela?
By the end of June, I was.
And congratulations to her and the rest of the people that passed. So that's where our mindset now is, Gary, is to pass that tippet test and become licensed loan signing agents in Maryland.
Yeah, that's great. And congratulations, by the way, to you said her name was Danielle?
D'Angela.
D'Angela. Congratulations, D'Angela.
Thank you.
Because we're not gonna keep giving them $60.
No, you can't give that money away. You can't. There's other spots that money could go.
But the good thing about passing that test in Maryland is that we can choose to be a title insurance producer and make more money, or we could be a loan signing agent with that one license. That's a good thing, even though we don't want to do it. But you have a new option that you probably didn't even think about before you started the course, right?
Absolutely. And I'll tell you one thing. There was a girl on my team. I won't say her name, but she actually had to take. She actually told me she took the title insurance producer license, but she said, "Look, Gary, I'm not certified to be a loan signing agent yet. I want to be a part of your team. You know, you look like you run a good business. What do I need to do? You know?" And she was persistent. You know, and so and that's what I liked about her. She was very persistent. She seemed like a go-getter. So I'm like, okay. So she took this. And I know the title insurance producer license isn't an easy exam. So I said, no, check there. And then another thing is she was a go-getter. So I said another check. You know, so I could work with the fact that you didn't get your loan signing agent exam, you didn't pass your loan signing certification exam, because that's something you could get or something to be taught you could get right away. But I've seen that she put the energy and investment into herself to take an exam that could be very challenging, and she took that on. So that's what I see. And she's actually one of my top producers today. I'm glad to get a chance.
Is she here in Maryland, or she is in one of the other states that have to get their license?
No, she was in New Jersey, so you don't have to necessarily get that exam. But I guess she was taking that exam because she was going a different course, a different route. There's a reason she was taking it. I didn't really pry into why she took it, but she took that exam. You know, and she had that under her belt. So I already knew that was something that she was investing herself in that. So it was a no-brainer for me, you know, because I seen she was like really raving that she has great customer service skills, coupled with the fact that she's investing in herself. Let's go for it. So I'm glad I took that risk on her.
So do you go in between doing general notary work and loan signing, or do you just strictly do loan signing now?
No, I do both. You know, when I started, I did a ton of, I wasn't really going too deep into the loan signing aspect of the business at all. You know, I was strictly doing general notary, you know. I got myself a website. You know, I got myself a website, and I got myself incorporated, got myself a website. And then from there, you know, just got a lot of hits and people looking to do general notary. You know, there was different apps out there like Thumbtack that could help facilitate general notary business, you know. But I strictly got started doing just that. And from there, I said, look, I could earn more money. I could earn even more money just doing the loan signing aspect of it. So I did that as well. And then,
so your website was your main thing, your main source of advertising?
Well, with the general notary, yes, right. It was a main source of advertising. But what I did was I was looking for other ways to advertise in addition to that. You know, Google has different ways where you could pay to play, right? Where you could pay them $50, $100. You know, they'll take your money, you know, and they'll take your money. You just ask them. You just telling them how you want it applied, you know. So there's different ways where you could just work through the analytics of that, where you could just get more exposure. So that's what I did initially, and I got a lot of hits doing that, and got a lot of business just doing just that. But loan signing was a very nice business as well. I went to play in there too. So I started organically building relationships with title companies. Started with one, and built it up to the point where I could build teams around that.
So show us how that process for you was. How did you build a relationship with that first title insurance company?
Through my website, through advertising on Google, because you know, when you advertise on Google, you have you know, anybody can see your name, they can see your business. You know, you get into general notaries. From there, what I did is I signed myself for a whole bunch of listings. You know, that stuff that everybody's telling you to do. Sign up for a whole bunch of listings, right? I did just that. I signed up for every single one of them, right? But the main thing is, when I got that first hit, you know, I tried to monopolize those relationships. You know, I tried to introduce myself, give them a call, try to become their go-to guy. That's really what it was. There was no secret sauce there. You know, I tried to tell them who I was and how I could do business with them. And from there, you know, close that business for them. Send them an email saying, next time you're looking for business in New Jersey, feel free to reach out to me. Gave them an email, had my little tidbit as far as what I say on every email, kept a very consistent language as far as how I can help facilitate business for them, what I do, what I represent, so they said to themselves, like, look, Gary's closing business for me consistently. He's never turning down appointments. He's available, and from there, I've really earned that opportunity to get more business. Just like with any other relationship, you show and you prove. So that I just started with one and just built that up.
Sorry, my thing let me out. I apologize if you were still talking.
Yeah, no worries.
I went out, so sorry. And you continue. Go ahead.
Yeah. So like I said, it was just like any other relationship. You earn the opportunity to get more business. And that's just what I did. They went. I closed the first assignment, closed the second assignment. They seen that I'm closing business consistently for them. They see that their customers are happy. I'm in their face. I'm sending them emails. I'm marketing all the time to them. I'm making sure I'm not being forgotten. Just so once you earn that first relationship, you just build on it. And I built myself an Excel sheet. I put on that Excel sheet when was the last time I touched base with this particular company, what happened, who was the last assignment. So when I go to double back and send another marketing email to that particular company, I know what I did with them. So just really just starting with that first one and trying to find ways where you could just build upon that.
So how long after you first started did you say, I think I might start an agency with this or go full-time? Are you full-time now?
Full-time, yes. With the signing service company, but I'm still full-time, 9 to 5.
Oh, okay. You got two careers.
Yeah, remember when I spoke to you earlier and I said when I get 10 minutes of peace, I love it?
Well, yeah. Now I understand. Yeah, whole 9 to 5, and then you're doing big things as a loan signing agent. That's phenomenal because that's what we aspire to be. Correct, gang? They all look at me like I'm crazy because they already know I am. But dang, it's stupid. Gary doesn't know me yet, so he is a New Yorker, New Jerseyer person. He's not used to our Southern people down here, right, Gary? Because I will interrupt you to be simple for a second. We're gonna get back to business right now. Okay, so back to you, Gary. Go ahead and continue. Sorry.
Yes. So that's all it is. Just really just just starting with that first assignment and just building up your business from there. To answer your question, when did I jump into doing the signing service aspect of it? After I built up a list of about 50 to 100 different title/signing service company relationships. When I had that, I said, okay, I have something here. And when it got to the point where I couldn't physically take on a lot of the assignments that are being handed to me, I said, let me build a team. And I started small. I started with 1 or 2 people. And then from 1 or 2 people, that built up to maybe 5 to 10 people. And from 5 to 10 people, built it up to now 15 to 30 people in both New York and New Jersey. So just starting small is really the key, because what it is, you want to start small. It's not a race. You want to start small, see what the mistakes are, right? When I say mistakes, what the mistakes are, the mistakes give you direction, because you can start seeing, okay, this didn't work here. How do I tweak this? So I really learned with a small sample size what adjustments I needed to make, and then from there just built it up organically from there to now where I'm at today. So that would be my only suggestion there. And I call my signing service a boutique style because I'm not national yet. I mean, I strive to be. I want to be in all the states, but right now I really wanted to be an expert in that signing service space in New York, New Jersey, and then now we're rocking and rolling right now. So now I'm at the point now, let's go nationwide. I want to be in your state.
We're waiting for you.
I want to be in your state. I want to be everywhere. Really help these businesses, and with my business model, and just see what we can do.
So I see some people that join in, they also just passed their TIPIC test. So give me 5 good tips for a new loan signing agent. What should they do? What's the first 5 things they should do?
The first thing they should do is just I really hate to just to double down on this again, but just really discovering your why. Like why? Because I mean, there could be a lot of distractions in this business, as I'm sure you know. I mean, there's a fingerprinting. There's a fingerprinting going on. You can't. Okay. Yeah. There's fingerprinting. There's a whole bunch of different ways. There's a whole bunch of different ways you could go with this in this space. But just really figuring out what it is you really want to do with this notary business, right? And again,
find your niche.
Find your niche. Find your space. You want to do? Are you doing this to build some skills up, and then eventually you want to do a signing service company? Do you want to do this, and you really just want to be a rock star signing closer? Do you want to be a rock star general notary expert? What is it that you're looking to do? And really designing your plan from that, and if from there, just really just being an expert in that space before you go anywhere else. Stand still, stand in that space, be an expert, find where mistakes are at, and just really grow organically there. You said five tips.
If you have them, if not, you're whatever you want to tell us. But you 5, yeah.
So that's one tip. But I mean, discovering what your why is. Really creating a business plan. Second, research. Because do a lot of research, whether on the industry, on your niche within a specific industry. So if you're really wanting to be a rock star signing service closer, let's say right now you're not aspiring really to own a signing service company. You just want to be you want to be a 6-figure earner just doing closings.
Right.
Find out who's doing that. Find out who's doing that. And, speak to them, ask them questions, and really just figure out what it is that you could be doing differently, so you could be doing just what that person is doing and how they're earning those 6 figures. So I would just say find yourself a mentor. Would be 2. I had a mentor when I first started. I probably have five mentors now. But find yourself a mentor. 3, just research. Just research the industry, research the different laws of your state. If you have a handbook for your state, read up on that twice, 3 times. You need to know what the laws are. You need to know what the regulations are to know how you're going to move and how you're going to put things together for yourself. Fourth, develop networks. Because I don't care if you're going to just be a rock star general notary expert, a rock star signing service company, a rock star signing service signing agent. You're going to have to develop networks with title companies, networks with realtors, networks with legal professionals, right? Networks with people within your industry. You're in one state, I'm in another state. Hey, I know somebody in your state that does what that may need your services. So really develop those networks that are going to make you successful. They say your network is your net worth. So definitely really just develop those networks that are going to make you successful. 5th, invest in yourself. Investing in yourself. Really reading the books that you need to read to get the experience that you need to get to where you need to go. Creating you time. Family time, take some time off, do whatever you need to do to get your mind right. Create a routine for yourself. This could be a very hectic business. It could take you many different ways. You're thinking one loan signing could take you an hour. That one loan signing could take you 3 hours. You're getting the docs late. By the time you got the docs and you get to the person's house, you think you thought it was gonna be cookie cutter. The wife and the husband, maybe they're getting in an argument, and the loan assignment is not an hour, it's now 2 hours, right? And then by the time, so you just never know where your day's gonna take you. So just to come up with a routine for yourself that you can keep yourself as honest to that routine as possible. So you can whatever control of your day that you can have control over, you have that for yourself is key. For myself, for instance, I try what they call it, eat the frog. What I mean by eat the frog mentality, I look at my day, I look what's going on in my day, and the most painful things in my day when I'm looking at that list, like, oh, that's gonna take me an hour and a half to do. I try to do that as early in my day as possible while I got all my energy, right? Because I know later in that day, I may not have the energy to do that, you know? So that's how I try to prioritize my day. You know, the pain points of my day that I know they're going to take a little time, while I got the energy, I do it. So those would be my 5 points, 5 points to give if I had to share.
Good to know. So do you have a book outside of Damon's book? Do you have a specific book that you read that said, yeah, that you could share with us today? What's your favorite book for us to read?
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Oh, I heard of that one.
Fantastic
Think
book.
and Grow Rich
By Napoleon Hill. I hope I got the author right on that.
You're right.
You did. I heard of it in somebody else's group, but I haven't read it yet. But I do have that, y'all. So we're gonna read that also. So I've seen a lot of powerhouse couples doing loan signing agents, being loan signing agents. Do you and your wife plan on doing that also?
Yeah. I mean, she at first, you know, it wasn't part of the plan, but you know, now that things are growing, she sees certain things taking off. You know, you can't do this by yourself. You know, you really can't do this by yourself. You know, working with her in the future will be something I'm looking to do. So definitely, you know, you could do more. You could do more with more numbers.
So did you take one of those loan signing services courses by Mark Wills, or one of those outside courses? You took the loan signing. Is it the loan signing service? Which one is it?
Loan signing system.
I didn't do the
loan signing system. So you took.
Yeah, I didn't do the one with Mark Wills, but I heard it's a fantastic course, right? So, but I did the one right through the NNA, the one right through the NNA. That's when I took.
Okay, makes more sense.
The one through the NNA could be, if you're a newbie, it could be a little bit more intimidating, only because they don't really walk you through a lot of the steps that some other programs out there do, as far as how to really market yourself in that space as a loan signing agent. Right. I haven't looked at it in a while. They may have changed they may have modified it since. But you know, when I was looking, it was just really bulleted in a way where it's just like, okay, they give you the meat of what you need to know to really get the certification program. But it's probably evolved since then now.
So congratulations. I did see the write-up about you and for being a notary and a National Notary Ambassador. So tell us how you became a National Notary Association Ambassador.
Well, when I seen that there was an ambassador program out there, part of that kind of intrigued me, because as a signing service company, you know, you really want to get in different communities, different spaces, different networks. Like I said, you want to grow your network. And I just seen being part of the ambassador program as being a way in which I could help propel that messaging faster, right? And so I said, look, I want to do that. And then to your point, what was one of the books I like to read? And Think Rich by Napoleon Hill. They talk about that. They talk about manifesting.
Yes.
Right? Such as, like, if you want to be an assistant manager, you want to be a manager, you know, it's not just going to happen, you know, if you're an assistant manager now, you know, you got to start doing things that a manager would do as an assistant manager now, right? You know, put that plan in place, start acting like a manager, dressing like a manager, talking like a manager. And before you know it, 1 month, 2 months from now, shoot, they're going to tap on that door. Hey, Gary, what do you think about this opportunity to be a manager? You're like, damn, how did this happen? But it didn't happen by accident. You were prepared for that. You made that happen. So it's part of, like, really just manifesting that stuff for yourself. And that was no different with the ambassador program. I seen that, you know, and I was out there, like, putting out literature for them, the NNA, you know, educating people within my community about what you need to do to become signed up with NNA, their hotline, tips and tricks, everything like that. You know, growing my brand, growing their brand, and before you know it, I'm an ambassador. You know, 1 year later, you know, but it was all hard work, all preparation, all putting that message out there, and all by helping people and helping one person at a time. You know, because you're gonna tell that person how to help you, and that person gonna tell that person, and you don't know what different communities they're in. You know, you're in Maryland, I'm in New Jersey, you know, this person's in New York, and before you know it, that message gets that message just gets disseminated out to the community, and before you know it, you're getting your messaging out there.
So I know that Tier is going to the conference they have in Vegas. Are you going?
The conference is this weekend.
No, they have one next year in Vegas that Tier is going to. That what's it called? Tier.
It just says Convention 2022.
Oh, for the NNA?
Yeah.
For NNA, yeah. So I was trying to see if Gary looked at me like, "What you talking about, Pam?" I guess he's not.
No, it is in Vegas. When I tried to, I was so mad because I was like, Vegas, wow, man. I could make a nice trip out of. I could make a nice trip out of that one, but when I tried to go in there to try to register,
it was gone, right? Sold out.
Sold out. I guess people saw Vegas.
People like Tier to the last spot. I was gonna go. For real, I just want to go to Vegas. Tier took the last spot from us, Gary. It's all her fault that we didn't get in. It's her fault.
Yeah, I know. You got to scalp those tickets to me.
Yeah, $1,000. She said $1,000.
Oh man, price went up.
But okay, yeah, I would have loved to have gone in, but yeah, they are sold out.
Yeah.
Sold out. Anyway, this is Maryland C.O.I.N's Notary Show with Gary Pierre. What's your last name? Gary Pierre-Louis. Because I always want to say Louis like you're Haitian or something. So that's
no. I am Haitian. I'm half Haitian.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. I'm waiting here, and I'm like, look, how's you gonna pronounce that name? You gonna pronounce it right?
Did I or didn't I?
No.
You know, I would everybody on here know I would tear up your name. So you say it for us so we can get it right.
No, Gary Pierre-Louis.
Louis, okay.
Louis.
I done called you Louis like 5 times. Everybody in here knows that I will tell your name though. So I appreciate you correcting me. I have no problem with that. So he is Haitian. That's why you got. That's racist. I gonna say that's why you got 20 careers going on. But is that racist? Anyway, back to what we talking about. Excuse me, Gary. He is Haitian. Because I wanted to say Pierre. I wanted to say it like that, but I didn't. Anyway, my son said, yeah, it's gonna be one of those videos. Y'all just gonna laugh because I'm simple. But back to you, Gary, and this loan signing agent. So once you started the agency, how much insurance did you get when you first started versus now that you have an agency?
Oh, that's a fantastic question. I mean, when I first started, you know how it goes. You're looking at your wallet. You're like, okay, what's the cheapest one I could get? You know,
I got $25,000 when I first started. I haven't upped it yet.
There you go. So that when I first got into it, I think I got the 25,000 one. I want to say yes. You know, and then I think maybe a year in, I jumped to the 50,000. You know, now got $1 million coverage with the signing service company and everything like that. So want to make sure I'm fully protected there. But I mean, again, this E&O insurance is not that expensive. It really isn't. Yeah,
because mine was like what, $30 for the whole year. So I can imagine. But as an agency, you need $1 million because there's not too many $25,000 houses out there that you're doing loan signings for, right?
Right. You know, I mean, average home here is what I would say 400,000.
I believe it like that in Maryland. Is that like in Maryland, y'all? It's expensive in Maryland, so we better have $3 million. we get our agency because their houses out here are ridiculously high.
But not only that, you know, the insurance, you know, just really help yourself protect yourself from frivolous claims. You know, somebody wanting to sue you for nothing. You know, you want to make sure you're protected there. You know, I mean, and as a signing service company, I can give you an example of a live example of how that happened to me. Like when I first started New York, right? New Jersey was rocking and rolling. Everything was going good. I'm like, hey, let's duplicate this in New York, right? Started with my first person there, you know, because again, I went to just test it and make sure everything was copacetic, everything was going good. She got started. And then I gave her the assignment from this company. This was a title company that I was doing business with, right? Thank God it was one of the newer ones I was established with, not one of the older ones I built a business I was using for a couple of months or about a year or so. And long story short, I gave her assignment. She said she's good to go. We had the date, right? She gives me a call day over the assignment. says, ask me a couple of questions. I walked her through the questions, and then I didn't hear from her. I didn't hear from her since. I'm assuming that everything got closed, everything was gone. I'm good. Then gave a then the signing service company gave me a call later, saying, hey Gary, I just want to check in. You know, we haven't got the scan backs or anything like that. So I checked back in with her saying, hey, such and such, you know, what's going on with the scan backs? Didn't really hear back from her for what it was hours, then became a day, which then now we're in panic mode. What's going on? Are you alive? What's going on?
Right.
And she gave me a quick call saying, yeah, Gary, I sent everything. At this point, I just want to make sure she sent the package now, you know? So then she says, I sent the packet, everything gets sent over, I sent everything to the title company. And then I said, okay, you send everything to the title company. We'll deal with the scan backs, you know, because she was being very choppy with getting back to me. The title company gives me a ring. I think it was maybe about a day or two later. Gary, nothing's in the packet. And I said, what? I said, nothing's in the packet? She's like, yeah. She mailed us a packet, but nothing's in the packet, right? And then
don't worry about that.
My heart went down to my stomach. I was like, wow. And then we couldn't track it down, you know, and this was a situation where I had to figure it out, you know. I took care of best as I could, but to this day, we never got contact with her. So we had to handle that, you know. But these are instances where you could get in trouble for something like that because this is somebody that represents you and your brand. Right. So as a signing service company, it's not just you you're looking at. It's the people that are representing you. It's something you want to take a look at as well. So that E&O, that's the way to go. You want to make sure you're protected there. And that was a live example of how that can happen. You know, but it could be anything.
So what was the repercussions for your business? They didn't hire you anymore, or what?
Again, you know, it's a relationship business. You know, that company, that particular company, never used me again because of that.
Yeah,
I wasn't able to rebound off of that one because it was a newer company. And I didn't build enough ground. I didn't close enough business with that newer company to offset that mistake from that particular notary closer. So again, you know what I mentioned earlier, let the mistakes give you direction. You know, my vetting process became a lot more rigorous. You know, and who I hire. You know, I wanted to see a little bit more. You know, that sort of thing. You know, so I made the adjustments. You know, now I have, you know, in New York, 15 to 30 signing service agents. You know, made sure they all properly vetted, but. You know, that's how that went. So the E&O is definitely the way to go there.
So do you give them training through your company, or they have to come in already trained?
Come in already trained, but I have my own vetting process as well. You know, because with me, you know, I have a small operation. You know, New Jersey, New York. My signing service business, I treat it more like a family. You know, I'm picking up that phone, I'm talking to you, I'm trusting you, you're trusting me. You know, we go into this relationship together, you know, so I just want to make sure that the person I'm talking to, I could trust them, you know, because I'm trusting you to talk. I'm trusting you to represent me right, to represent the company right, represent yourself right.
I know that's right. So we're going to open up the floor today. Right now, this is Maryland C.O.I.N's Notary Show. D'Angela, is your hand up, or you was just giving him his kudos? Can't tell.
I was trying to raise my hand, but I kept.
I wasn't sure if it was clapping or bowing or what. But
I'm sorry. I was trying to raise my hand. My question is, Gary, as I said, I am a new tippet in Maryland, and I understand you'll be branching out to Maryland, and I'd like to get some information about your team. But my question is, as a new loan signing agent, did you go through signing services? What was your turnaround time after you started with the signing services, or did you have a long wait? Because I'm a graduate of loan signing service, so he gave us like a list of 300 signing services that we can attach, you know, sign up with. But after putting in all of your credentials and being certified, SnapDocs is one that, you know, what kind of wait did you have to get your first sign?
That's a good question. Like, yeah, I mean, I started just like you know, you said you had a list of what, 100, you said?
300.
300. Wow, that's a nice start. I mean, honestly, when I got my first list, I just banged away at that list. You know, I started making those phone calls, those dials, made those emails, and just got started. I didn't really too much try to break up the business in a way where I'm like, whether I should go direct or whether I should go directly to signing service companies. I didn't really dive too much into that. At first, my goal really was to just get business, you know, and once to really build up my skill set. And then once I built up my skill set, and once I got my first 10 loans closed, then I could really carve out how I wanted to break up my business model, whether it be more direct business versus more signing service business, you know, that sort of thing. But as a newbie, I mean, the main thing is really just to get those skills, really just get your, you know, get flying, you know, really just get yourself out there and exposed to learn the different types of refinances, the different type of purchase transactions, the different kind of assignments you could get, you know, how are they giving you scam backs? You know, what are the size of these packages? You know, there are just so many different ways that these different companies could throw different things at you. Just getting comfortable with that and sending assignments back to them would really be the main thing. You know, for me, the criteria at that point was even price. I'd have done one for $60. You know, not to say that, you know, now or in 3 months that should still be your same criteria. You know, but really the name of the game is just getting yourself out there and getting that experience at first.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Because I was going to ask you how you felt about what people consider lowball, but I think in the beginning you have to at least get your feet wet and your name out there, just like you said. So take it. As long as it's not a net zero to you, you should take it so you can get the experience.
Right, Pam. You said you hit the nail right in the head right there. As long as it's not a net zero, right?
Yeah.
As long if you're not netting zero, you're making money. You know, you have. I mean, part of getting exposure and getting business and learning the business. You know, you got to take I don't want to even call it L's. You got to whatever it takes to learn the job. You know, do it so long as you're not netting zero. And then, you know, you could just get a little bit more sophisticated with your business model as far as, okay, I won't take the 60, you know, I'll take 80, I'll take 100, I'll take 150, you know, I'll get maybe 80% direct and 20% signing service or 50-50, whatever your business model is. But, you know, really at first it's just getting started.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask another question?
You can keep going. You're the co-host of the day, Dee. Go ahead.
Gary, once you started your business, this is all independent because I'm retired and I just decided to add this to my life because, you know, I just wanted to. I'm also a real estate agent, and when I did my one of my closings was done by a loan signing agent, so I quit being a real estate agent to do this. I felt like this was better for me. But my question is, starting your business, did you do, and this is administrative stuff, did you get a separate phone line? Did you, you know, just gear just certain things to your loan signing business? You know how some people just, okay, they use the same cell phone number. Did you get specific cell phone numbers? Did you get specific email addresses? Did you do all of that, or did you just, as you grew, you did that, or did you do it from the beginning?
All right, good question. So, I'll answer it from the back, right? So, at the finish line, yes, you know, you kind of want to keep the business, and yourself, right? You know, so you know, whether your business be Samantha company or Gary company, whatever you call it. Keep that company and keep yourself separate, right? So you have your own personal line, then you have your own business line, right? You have your own personal email, then you have your own business email. You know, you have your company logos, your company cards, and then you have yourself, right? You know, you're the driver behind the business, right? But the business is the business. I try to keep that as separate as you can, you know. And get you know, then you know, talk to your tax person or your tax expert as far as, you know, what tax entity would be best for you, right? But getting started, it's not as easy to separate the two at first, but you know, start start small, do what you can at first. And then when you get some more money in your pocket, put back into trying to do whatever you need to do to separate the two and keep them as separate as possible.
Okay, thank you.
So do you have a mobile printer in your car?
No, I never did that. I see a lot of people are doing that now, and I think that's fantastic. Because there's a lot of like last minute. I mean, you know how it goes. There's a lot of last minute changes. Oh yeah, I forgot to send you the CD. You're already at the customer's house, client's house. So having everything set up in your car, I think that's great. I mean, I have a signing service company now. There's not really need for me to have that in my car. But if I was doing 90% of the closings like I was when I first started, absolutely, I would definitely have that set up and make that my own.
I said I was being nosy, so I saw that you made like $10,000 one month. Was that your whole team, or was that you yourself?
My whole team.
Oh, okay, cool. That's still good.
Yeah, my whole team.
No problem.
Yeah, and this was birthed out of COVID. Once COVID hit, like I was telling you before, like I was just really operating out of maybe one or two agents, one or two notary subcontractors. Really just as I can, just putting more water onto growing more and more agents. But then when COVID happened, I really couldn't go out there, and I was at home, so it gave me more time to really manifest my more grander vision. So it allowed me to really grow it out to where it is now, to both New Jersey and New York now. But yeah, at first it was just really just one or two agents.
Oh no, that's still actually pretty good.
Yeah.
For you to be working part-time, and they're probably working part-time also, right?
I mean, between 15 and 30 in New York and New Jersey, about 60 overall. You have different situations. You have some people that this is their third or fourth job. You have some people that this is their main job. You have some people that they're just changing industries. You have people that they just need something for right now. And that's what I had to learn. I had to learn the different mechanics of what is it that they're in this for. But yeah, you get to all different walks of town.
That's good. So did you have to get rid of anybody besides the one who let herself down and you down? Is there anybody else you said, no, that's not it? How is your weaving process? How do you weed the bad ones out so that you don't get stuck using your E&O insurance?
Right. So now, thank God we have technology now where it was probably there when I first started, but I didn't dabble in it too much. But there's technology now where in the platforms now where they weed through this stuff. You can see how many closings, like you mentioned one, SnapDocs. You can see how many closings that the agents have done, what their reviews are. You can see that stuff. But I was doing I was doing it in a more unconventional way where I was literally creating my own systems where I would throw out Indeed ads and advertise to social media platforms and find my guys. I was doing a lot of heavy lifting when I didn't necessarily need to do it that way. But when I found agents, I was thinking I was asking enough questions at first, but you get a few that sneak through the cracks,
Yeah.
I've had some that they've had some pretty rough conversations with me, looking like they wanted to curse me out because they had a bad day, and I'm like, what's going on here, but how I weave through that is really just asking more questions and really just getting more experience, and really before I have them starting to do some of my more trusted assignments with some of the trusted title relationships that I have. I won't even let them touch those relationships until I've seen them do some general notary work first. Get your beak wet with some of those first. Let's close a few. Let me give you a couple of paychecks on those. Let's see how that goes. Let's see how the conversations are. And everything goes good. Let's continue. That's how I went with it. That's before you graduate to some larger assignments. So I learned to do that. In the beginning, I was just more so excited about expanding my team quick and just really just going after it. But really, slow and steady wins the race.
So do you have weekly meetings with them? How do you bring them all together, or you don't bring them all together?
Yeah, I mean, again, I treat it like a family, so I do get them together. I do have I do have platforms that I use where I have group communications, right? Where I send memos monthly. Any nuances that I need to talk about, I put it out there. You know, a lot of the technology now, a lot of these apps now, there's you could just send a quick message through these different platforms that would disseminate out to the whole team. You know, the one I use, I'll tell you the name of it now. Let's see.
While you look for that, this is Maryland C.O.I.N's Notary Show with Gary Pierre-Louis. Did I say it right this time?
Yeah, you got
it. So thank you so much. While you looking for that, Damon, you got a mail right here. I'm waiting for you to come and ask questions. Don't mind me, Gary. I'm just fussing at Damon real quick while you find that that app for us. So if you don't have any other questions, we're going to end the show once he gives us his final tip of the day. Unless y'all have some more questions for Gary, we're going to let him go and enjoy his day. He just got home from the beach to give y'all his tip. Okay. Did you run down the beach? Gary, what did you do at the beach?
No, you know, just walk the broad walk. Just walk the broad walk. Went got the towels, dipped in the water a little bit. That's it. The kids had fun. That was the main thing I cared about.
Oh,
you know,
it was for the kids.
It was for the kids, you know, and then, you know, they slept in the car, which is always a plus. You know. Yeah, they slept on the way back. But that was about it. Yeah, I can't find the name of the app right now. The name escapes me. I'm like on my Sunday brain right now. But yeah, you know, nowadays everything's just all apps. So that's how I communicate with the team. You know, try to keep it as live and fun as I can. You know, but and just find what systems work for you. There's hundreds of different systems and apps out there right now that you can use to communicate with your team. So just find which one works out best for your model.
And that's about it. So any last minute things you want to tell us, Gary? Because I'm going to let you go and enjoy your family since they don't have a lot of questions today. But usually when I find out that they don't have a lot of questions, that means that you was transparent and you really already answered the question. Okay?
That's good, man. I'm just trying to really be as transparent as I can. I mean, any last messages, I mean, just go for it. I mean, again, I can't say, and just in life in general, there's a lot of distractions. In this business, there's definitely a lot of distractions. You know, if you once you've got your certifications, your different licenses, you know, just go after it. Don't let that first punch in the mouth, you know, deter you. Don't let not passing your test the first time deter you. You know, with anything worth having, it's going to be a struggle. You know, just learn from the experts in the space, you know, and just find out ways in which you could get better at it. That's it. You know, I'm here. I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on IG. On Facebook and LinkedIn, I'm on as Gary Pierre-Louis. On IG, I'm on Pierre-Louis. On IG, I'm on as GPL Mobile Notary Services. Find me there. I plan on having an ebook for in the fall. That's really for anybody looking to have to own a signing service company and start it from the ground up. I'm gonna have that. So just if you're interested in, you know, having a first stab at this of the ebook, definitely jump on my website for the pre-orders, which I'll be having soon. My website is www.gplmobilenotaryservices.com. You know, again, the ebook will definitely be out there for anybody looking to have something similar, started from scratch. We really just walk you through that process. And if you just have any quick questions or you want any quick ideas, any quick tips, hit me up on Facebook, LinkedIn, IG. I mean, I'm glad to help. Thank you for having me, y'all.
No, I appreciate you. Thank you for putting up with me because it's a silly day for me. I just can't get myself together. I don't know what it is. Tanya had me started at the beginning before taping. I ain't got myself together and it's been an hour. But I want to thank you for saying yes at the last minute. I really appreciate you and hope to see you again so we can bring you here to Maryland and be our loan signing agency until I get mine too. Okay. But thank you for your tips. I really appreciate you. And so you have a good evening. We see you next time on Maryland C.O.I.N's Notary Show. Have a good evening.
Thank you too, Pamela. Have a good one.
I am not going to cut us off this time. Okay. Stop recording.